I have been noticing a big issue in society where most of us are just in a hurry all the time. We keep rushing for things, we keep checking the time, and the moment we wake up, we are already stressed and anxious about the things that are going to happen. You can see it in yourself and in everyone else, how everyone is going somewhere the whole time. We just can't relax anymore. We can't sit for a minute and just breathe. And I don't think that this is how life used to be. I think this is a modern problem related to how our society functions. The biggest offender to this is our phones. The stories of the people that you know, you get these notifications for messages and emails. We feel like it's an emergency that we need to answer right now. And it is not just our phones. Society itself is structured around time. You need to start work at 8 or 9 and you finish at, I don't know, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you have 4 or 5 hours for yourself, and then you need to sleep and wake up at that time to catch the bus, to catch the train, to be at work on time. Never-ending cycle. It's something that we go through day after day without finding just a moment to slow down. Everyone who uses a phone, everyone who lives in society, especially in big cities, face a similar problem because we always feel under pressure. We are always comparing ourselves to everyone around us. And life in the past was never like that because people were more on the moment, focusing on survival, focusing on their surroundings. They only knew their neighbors and some people around them, and that's it. They couldn't compare themselves to everyone else. They didn't have that much information to know what else they could do in their lives. Goals were much simpler. We weren't so obsessed with being successful and finding our true self and reaching our biggest potential and all of these things that keep us under pressure in the moment to reach that life, that vision that we have. We spend so much time thinking about our goals and our vision and the moment that we might become happy and successful that we forget to be happy in the moment, right now. If you ask the people around you, when do they actually relax in their lives, you're probably gonna see the same answers everywhere. When somebody is on vacation and they return from their vacation, when somebody starts to meditate, all of these different activities that is taking you out of that hamster wheel, that is taking you out of the race, that is taking you out of this daily habitual routine where you are just trying to work on your goals. And I don't think working on goals is a bad thing. I mean, I have my own goals and I respect the goals of other people, but we need to also find time for that relaxation where we don't need to worry about anything. We are just in the present doing an activity without thinking about the future, without thinking about the next thing that we want to do. The most powerful thing that made me notice this are psychedelics like LSD and mushrooms. In my not so often LSD trips, I am engaged in the moment for like 8 to 12 hours where nothing else matters, only what I'm doing right now, the activity I am in, the things that I am observing in this moment. And when I come down from that trip, I feel the biggest relaxation in my mind and body. It's like my head is just empty. I am just there. And it's the most wonderful feeling ever that lasts maybe a day or two, and then I notice myself being back to that routine, to that way of living where I'm always rushing for things. You don't need to try these substances. Just notice the next time you come back from vacation how you are in general much slower with your pacing, with the way you talk, with the way you think. And then notice again when you are back to your routine, when you are back to work, back to the things that you used to do, how you become much more in a hurry, in rush to do the things that you want to do. I think it's a big problem in this modern society, and it's kind of sad in a way because how much time do we waste not actually living, but rather jumping from one thing to the next, hoping that one day we will start living. It's really sad. I think the people who fall the most to this are those who live in the bigger cities like New York, Berlin, Barcelona, Sydney, any kind of like really big city where there's so many people, so many opportunities, so many things to do, and there isn't just time to relax. I was fortunate that I lived most of my life in small towns and villages. Lucky enough to be surrounded with nature that I could at least breathe sometime and actually think about these things that I am thinking and talking about right now. If you are living in New York and you go outside, you're already bombarded by so many things around you, and it's hard to be alone, it's hard to be in silence. But when you are living in a village or in a small town, it's a little bit easier. I still fall to this a lot. I still feel like I am always running for something. It's a global thing, and wherever you live, as long as you have technology, as long as you're surrounded with a lot of choices and options on your disposal, you're gonna face this issue. As long as we are spending so much time on our phones, comparing ourselves to other people and seeing so many things and talking to so many people, then it's really hard to relax. So I do think that one of the solutions for this is just trying to be more with yourself. If I have an urge to take my phone and check some reels, I try to force myself to just take a book instead, or go take a shower, or just do anything where there's not so much stimulation. Just doing one activity for the sake of it. In the past, I would also cook, for example, and listen to a podcast, or clean and watch some video. And while sometimes that's okay, if you're doing it all the time, you're still facing the same thing, that you are feeding your brain with so much input that it becomes too much and you feel like you are just in a hurry, you're just rushing to do things the whole time. So just like so many things in life, it's really about balance and finding that middle point where it's okay to spend time on social media, it's okay to talk to people, it's okay to be outside and expose yourself to a lot of stimulation sometimes. But it's also important to be with yourself, to do slow things, to just be aware of your thoughts, be aware of what is happening right now, trying to appreciate what you see instead of focusing on these future scenarios, good or bad. I know most people would relate to this, and I know that many people are stuck. I was stuck for a long time, and I do still feel stuck sometimes. Not every day it's easy to not take the phone and binge watch things endlessly. You know, there are days where I still spend so much time on my phone and I feel like I'm just running the whole time. I'm just waiting for things to happen, and it's really frustrating. But not every day can be a victory. It's all about finding ways to return to your nature. Remember how people used to live in the past before all of this, and trying to emulate that in some way. That's why I think the nature thing, being in nature, is probably the most powerful thing, because we evolved to be in nature. We didn't evolve to be surrounded by four walls and so many people around us and technologies and all of these things. So anyway, this is just something that I was thinking about lately, and I felt like talking about it a little bit. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.